Ain't no half stepping
With your
Marcus
tinted
J. I wanted.
glasses.
Oh Lord, here we go. I thought I was gonna get through one show. Oh Lord, we get the call, y'all. Somebody's calling us up to make
that
fun of
is?
us. Well, we gonna find out in a minute.
Yo, what's up?
That's not my baby daddy.
I hope it ain't your baby daddy. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Caller. What's your name and where you calling from? What's the deal? Damn it, the caller just hung up on us. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Caller.
Man.
If you're still listening, call us back because we wanted to hear from you, but you was just too quick with the
Call me.
trigger. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. You called us. Signal was bad. Cell phone, you must have got a track phone or something. But call us back on a Sprint or just something. Ain't no half step. Damn, I just gave Sprint money.
Let's take a guess who it is.
I just gave Sprint money. I feel
Let's
bad
guess.
about that.
Well,
Nah,
stop saying
Let's
it.
put a quarter on the table and guess who it is. Who was
how we gonna
called.
guess? We ain't got no
They
call
gonna
ID.
call back.
Well, they gonna call back.
Call ID.
I mean, we got call ID,
They
but
gonna call
that doesn't
back.
mean that you know who they are.
69 them. Somebody just called here.
Oh, Lord.
Who this
Who this
is?
is that just called us?
He just called. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J.
Who this is? Who this is?
Who this him?
Yeah, well, you know what? But it's funny because we got one of those phone numbers. Like, you don't call us by accident. Like, you didn't just dial 804-402.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like the baby mama phone number that's off by a digit. You know what I mean? Like, you know. Anyway, let's move on. If somebody wants to call us back. 804-402-2893. All right, listen. TheExaminer.com. This one ain't funny, y'all. We gotta be grown ups here and be serious. Like, we gotta poke our chest out all grown up and stuff and be like,
it is
be
poked
official.
out.
Steven, I want you on this one first.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting this from TheExaminer.com. 2 kindergarten 5-year-olds were caught having sex in the bathroom, and the teacher may be fired. It says may be fired. 5-year-olds in New Jersey. There's 2 5-year-olds in the state of New Jersey. It's a school there. The teacher is a 15-year-old veteran administrator. Her name is Kelly Massio.
Was this in North Jersey?
Well, I don't have the. I mean, I got the city, but I don't know geographically where it is. But it happened a while ago. The story is breaking. I wanted to talk about this last week, but we weren't here, so I'm bringing it up now. Happened in September at a school in Malika Township, New Jersey. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but there haven't been any criminal charges found as of yet. She's been suspended with pay. According to the police report, she found the 2 5-year-olds, which is a boy and a girl, naked in a classroom bathroom. They admitted to her that they were having sex. Quote, Massio did immediately report the incident to her boss, Principal Matthew Mazzoni, who in turn advised the Malika Police Department and the State Department of Youth and Family Services. Now, while no criminal charges were filed, the Malika Township Board of Education voted to bring internal charges against Massio, seeking to have her removed from her position. The vote came despite support from parents and the community who came to the teacher's aid at a rally outside the school, calling her, quote, a much beloved teacher. About 200 people took part in this rally. Quote, our main concern is that the New Jersey School Board has completely forgone all traditional disciplinary avenues available in handling the incident, says Malika Township Education Association President Barbara Renault. Quote, the administration has selected a disciplinary route that has resulted in enormous emotional and professional turmoil and has strained the confidence and trust of school staff, parents, and community members. Kelly Massio acted in a professional manner responsibly in reporting the incident, Renault has said, end quote. There's more here. As usual, I don't want to get into the whole story. I like to set it up, present it to the panel, and then we ask the question, what the hell? Steven, you up first, my brother. What you got, man?
First of all, you know what? Go ahead and fire me, because you know what? Let me go down to the government and speak on the Department of Education that this is a failing of the school system. You fuss at teachers not doing anything. They didn't sweep it underneath the rug. It wasn't having sex with the student. You did your job, what you're supposed to, what you're taught. And so this is a veteran who still maybe would have probably in years past, look, let me talk to the parents individually. No, she followed protocol, and you still fire them. This is what's the problem with the school board system, and this is why you got parents, and especially, people, and especially men, just saying the heck with it, and why we don't have any more teachers, because there's no support. And then now you got support from the community who are involved. I know where the area is, where it's about. And then you now still want to fire them? They looking at it from a publicity thing. They so scared of being sued that they don't know what the heck they're doing.
That's why.
Okay. I'm blaming this on the teacher, and I'm blaming this on the parents. I'm blaming the teacher because, number one, I believe you said the kids were in the bathroom and they were out of their clothes. The boy and the girl are missing. They've been gone long enough for you to realize that they should have been back from the bathroom, number one, if they were going to the bathroom. That could have been caught. Two, I'm blaming the parents because what are they watching? They're 5. What are they watching?
Who are
they
around?
watching it from? Okay? That they both thought that, hey, this was a good idea. Or that one didn't say no or scream or shout, because not only are they watching something they shouldn't be watching or who they shouldn't be watching, but they're not taught that if somebody does something to you, to react to it a different way. Nobody's screaming, nobody's shouting, nobody's saying anything. So I'm blaming the teacher because I think the kids were gone too long. And I'm blaming the parents.
Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J. A couple of comments that we need to get from social media. First, I want to give a shout out to my baby sister Net, listening to us back home in my home state of New Jersey. She first says, and she's alluding to the previous story that we just did about the sister who drove her kids into the water. She ain't giving them a pass. She's sick. It's unfortunate, but we will never understand. It's postpartum. It's real, but she ain't giving her a pass. She got to go. She is also alluding to this particular current story that we're on. That's my baby sister. Love you, girl. Give my niece a hug.
You should have seen that face in my head just now.
That's because he loves his baby sister. That's why. But she's also alluding, Tony, to who y'all share the same first name.
Yes, we do.
Yes, you do. She's alluding to this current story that we're talking about. I want your comment after I read hers. The parents are to blame. They're making the teacher the scapegoat. That's what my sister Net's particular opinion is on this story. Tony, your opinion is what?
I agree. I mean, I don't see what the teacher did wrong. I mean, if kids have to go to the bathroom, they have to go to the bathroom. Who knows? I mean, if your pants are already down because you're using the bathroom, if these children clearly already know about sex, then all they got to do is put the two parts together. So I don't really see what the teacher could have done wrong because, again, they could have just been in there or, what if they had the boo-boo? That could take a couple of minutes.
Well, all the bathrooms separated.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It
Bathrooms are
depends.
separated.
It depends on the school. It depends on the school because I know in my, well, at least I remember first grade, but it was like our adjoining classrooms were divided with like a shared bathroom. So there was like a door you had to walk through to exit the classroom with like a little foyer area. There was a boys' bathroom on the left, girls' bathroom on the right, and then another door in front of you to the other classroom.
Oh, I've never.
So, I mean, it just depends on the setup of the class. But again, I mean, how long does it take you to pull your pants down? And, depending on what these children have been exposed to or not protected from by their parents, I don't see that the teacher is responsible.
It's funny, it's one of those situations where I'm conflicted because I agree with SY and your assessment 100%. When I did my podcast last week, when we were out of the office, I addressed this and I brought it back a second week because I did want to get particularly the ladies, because I knew that I would have you both here as moms, as well as parents, as well as citizens, as well as conscious grown-ups who could look at a situation and offer an opinion. I'll be honest with you, man. I have a hard time giving the teacher a pass on this one because I'm like, yo, you got 2 5-year-olds that disappeared long enough for them to come back and be like, yeah, we was having sex. Also got to put my fingers on the parents. I'm like, yo, why does a 5-year-old know what having sex means? You know what I mean? So I don't think that there's any people here that is blameless. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is going on? And how long were the kids out of your sight? 2 of them. Not just a male and a female, female and a male, male and male, female, female, but just 2 kids in general. How long were they out of your sight that you happened upon them butt-ass naked playing with each other and playing with themselves? I got a problem with that. I'm sorry. Y'all can talk about how great this teacher was and all the experience she got. She's been there for 15 years, and y'all can rally for her and all that kind of stuff. But this lady ain't blameless. Mr. LP.
There's some logistical issues I have with this. That could it be like, they just went in for like a minute and then you just realize, okay, hey, where'd they go? And they immediately, could they just going out for like maybe 90 seconds? The other thing is when you have schools that small, usually where's the hall monitor, or better yet, the bathroom monitor for elementary schools and preschools? Usually that's the case. I know with budget cuts, they're doing all these other different things. But for that small, how they go to the bathrooms and not have somebody in a hall monitor or all together. So that's where that's my mind coming in. It could have been 90 seconds. I'm not going to, if they said they got to go to the bathroom in 90 seconds, you got kids that's going to still figure themselves out how to use the bathroom accordingly. I wouldn't think. And then if you say check on them in 90 seconds later and you found it, I can't blame the teacher for that.
I agree. I agree with you. I ain't never seen a kid take more than a couple of minutes to go to the bathroom. Like seriously.
Unless they got a boo boo.
I mean, unless they're doing that. But the truth of the matter is, and we can sit here, man. We ain't gonna play no games, yo. Ain't no half step on Marcus. We ain't half step. Then little kids ain't washing their hands.
No.
And so how long it really take? They gonna go in there, do their business, and come right out. And so when they gone for a few minutes, ain't your antennas going up, yo? For real. Like seriously, and Joy is saying she's blaming the parents. What they teaching them, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, to me, again, I would like to know how the school is set up, because I remember in kindergarten, every day there was a king and a queen chosen, and it was based on your behavior. The two of us, the two students, would walk all the way to the office together to take the attendance. The kindergarten wing was way at the other end of the school. And it's a lot of stuff that could have happened between that classroom and the principal's office. But it happened all the time. So again, I mean, I would like to see how it was set up. I just don't think that, I guess it's really easy for us to say, oh, it was the teacher's fault because she wasn't watching them. I mean, we all know kids, and kids can do stuff in a very short amount of time.
Ain't no half step on Marcus J. We're going to leave it there. Last thing I want to get into in this segment is a name that, if you've been paying attention to black movies in the last 15, 20 years, you might have heard the name Jason Weaver. But if not, it's cool. You about to hear the name Jason Weaver here on Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J, because he blasted coon celebrations of Lil Boosie's release from prison. Now, I ain't got no idea who the hell Lil Boosie is. I really don't. And I didn't bring this up because I care about Lil Boosie.
It's Boosie.
Not so much, whatever. Clearly, whatever. Yeah, like maybe his mama cares his name. I don't care his name. Between Jason Weaver, who I've seen in stuff, drumline, smart guy, he played Michael Jackson in the Jackson movie that was made in 1992. He's been around. Lil Boosie, never heard of this dude before this particular story. And the story is not really about them. It's more about the spirit of the discussion. And this is the reason why I want Mr. LP on this one first. Social media has been blowing up, and I'm getting this from news1.com. It's been blowing up with fans of Lil Boosie celebrating his release from a Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola last week. Of course, Jason Weaver is calling some coon shit. Okay? The actor, Jason Weaver, took to Instagram to express his disgust over the glorification of the rapper in prison for drug possession, one who was also charged and acquitted of first-degree murder in the shooting death of Terry Boyd. Jason Weaver says, and this is right from his Instagram, it's long, so just bear with me, but I want to read it all because I want the full concept of what he's talking about so we can discuss this. And Mr. LP, I want you and I to debate something else that we talked about on social media at the end of this very, very briefly. Jason Weaver says, quote, okay, so, and the language is graphic. There's one word that I won't use. There's other words that I will. Okay, I see a lot of people on IG posting stuff about Lil Boosie getting out of prison, talking about welcome home, Boosie's back, all kinds of other coon shit. Listen, man, no disrespect to Boosie or anyone else for that matter who has ever been incarcerated, but the problem I have with IG, Instagram, posts regarding him getting out is it's being displayed like it's some kind of thing to celebrate. I'm sorry, man, but why can't we celebrate young black men who have stayed out of prison? I'm not judging Boosie or any other individual who may have faced similar circumstances. I would sure be cool, though, if we posted more pics of our young brothers receiving high school diplomas, college degrees, and cool shit like that instead of a player getting out of prison, man. I'm about celebrating milestones in young black men's lives that we can really be proud of. Like, for real, come on, son. Sorry for the rant, but I just had to say it. Kanye shrug. Not getting the Kanye shrug thing. Everything was great up until that point. But, Steven, I want you in on this one first because you and I have had similar conversations, not directly about this, but about this kind of concept. My brother, where you going with this, man? What you got?
I think it would have been much more well received if he articulated himself better. You can't say something about Lil Boosie, but you're going to use Kanye shrug, and he's also not too far a step away from jail, his dang self and others. But the spirit of his thoughts, yes, I understand and I agree. There's plenty of times I'm always trying my best to post information. I think last year a bunch of children from the private school in Chicago all graduated, all went to high-end schools. I agree. We need to celebrate life and education and what we can do to and better ourselves. Because if we make people visual, especially our teens, so if we make something cool, that's cool. Now, if we sit here and celebrate, hey, going to school and make that cool, then fine. Then more kids will get back into it. But we got it so ingrained that for so long that thug life and culture is so cool, then that's what they do. They think that's cool.
Tony, you got a teenage son who is in the age group. I don't know if he's a fan of Boosie. I don't know if he's ever heard of Boosie, but he's in the age range of what Boosie's fans would be. What's your thoughts on this story?
I know who Lil Boosie is because I make it a point, having a teenage son, to know what's out there and what kids listen to. My son is not a fan of his because, one, he thinks he's whack, and not just because of his music, but because of this type of image that he portrays. I'm a thug, you know, getting drunk, smoking weed, being with women or whatever, and of course being locked up. My son knows that's not cool. Like, who wants to aspire to that? Nobody with any real hopes for a future. I think it's ludicrous too. I actually saw a sickening, and I say thickening, video of Lil Boosie. He's not Lil anymore, excuse me, just Boosie. His daughter, who looks to be about maybe 5 or 6, this little rap that she made up for him, where she's using the N-word, and you know, I told y'all he was coming on like.
I got it here, and I'm gonna read it, and I'll let you address it as you're speaking, and. You know, I'll say shit a million times, but this word I won't use. I told y'all ants, y'all thought I was playing, but I told you, Boosie coming home today, he coming home today. Told y'all ants, y'all better believe it, the streets is his ends. This is his child, his daughter, who is, let's just say she's younger than Mama J at 10, who posted that. First of all, she has an Instagram account. And second of all, this is what she posted on her Instagram account, Tony.
Well, and actually, that video that she did was actually posted on Boosie's official IG account. So his PR people made that post on his account, like, you know, he's back and we bigging him up.
That's why.
Well, I don't know who he is. I've never heard of him. And yeah, we don't need to celebrate him or anybody like him. You know, like Steven said, there are a lot of other good things that we can go about celebrating, and knowing that he has a daughter who's putting out such wonderful lyrics, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for her. She has a poor example for her dad.
Yep, I agree. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J. Last thing I want to get to, Steven, you and I had a very brief and mild debate yesterday in social media when we commemorated the death of Christopher Wallace, also known as the Notorious B.I.G. Biggie. I was one of those people who commemorated the death. I remember in 1997 on March 9th, I was in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was 22 years old. I remember getting paged, beeper, dating myself again and dating myself again. People was blowing up my beeper. It's like, yo. And so when I'm seeing phone numbers, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm seeing all of these 201s and 973s and all that kind of 908s, 973, 908s come up. So I'm calling back. It's like, yo, you heard what's up with Biggie? And I'm like, no, what you talking about? It's like, turn on MTV, and I turn on MTV and I see that Biggie had been murdered in Los Angeles the night before. And at the time, Biggie was one of my favorite rappers, but the fact that we had just lost Tupac Shakur on September 13, 1996, just 6 months earlier, it just really, really broke my heart that we had just lost Biggie the night before. And when I commemorated it yesterday, which I do every single year, social media and conversations, did they just play that at the music only show here on Legacy Internet Radio? Spent 4 hours on Biggie on Saturday. Mr. LP had a very strong reaction to it because he disagreed with us celebrating that, which part of me understands that. And we had a very mild debate about that. Brief, one comment versus another comment, and then we kind of left it there about it. I wanted to give Mr. LP an opportunity to kind of address it publicly. I'll address his address, and then we'll move on. Mr. LP.
First of all, I want people to, and I'll say this first, every single time. I don't like the loss of any life, especially there's so few black men out there of anything else. I'm sorry for his family and everybody else, and especially his children who grew up without their father. That being said, I don't agree with Biggie Smalls' music. I think it helped ushered, and there's been other types of music in years past, I realize that. But him, Tupac, a lot of those rappers around that time helped ushered in what we have now is Boosie, and all these other rappers now. And I'm like, you know, we go back, I've been critical of Jay-Z, Boosie, whoever, and especially Nicki Minaj, and we criticize and tell them that, look, this is bad, but then we accept Biggie and them, which helped usher this type of culture. Little Kim, Foxy Brown, that's not the way to go. The thing I'd rather focused on is the poor police work that's been done in trying to solve the crime. What's been bothering me is, okay, let's celebrate, let's get the fact that, you know, we had another young man, kids, sex education. Let's talk about school, all these other different things. Because if they were supposedly about life and stuff, let's do that. Not the constant videos of what's the one on the boat and him and Diddy and all that other stuff. They dancing and all these things. That's hypnotized. You know, I'm just like, you know, all that stuff is just not. I think there was always a better way to go, and I don't. That's not the image that I think we should aspire to or celebrate.
Here's my thought on that, and everything that you just said. The adult, nearly 40-year-old me, 100% agrees with you. You get no argument. Everything that you said is well received and accurate. But the 22-year-old me who was affected by the loss of Biggie and Tupac 6 months apart, it broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart. And on March 9th, 1997, hip-hop died for me. It died. I haven't given a damn about hip-hop since that day. Does that mean that there have been artists that I didn't like? No, of course it doesn't. But the love and the passion that I had for the art form died for me that day, because I am probably, people our age are the youngest generation, or the youngest of the original generation of hip-hop. We remember Grandmaster Caz, and we remember Spoonie G, and we remember the Furious Five, and we remember Run DMC. And so anything that you are a part of in the beginning, you evolve with it. And so the actual natural progression of hip-hop from Caz and Spoonie to Run to L to EPMD to Tribe to Biggie to Pac and all of that kind of stuff, it was a progression. And so when we saw that talking shit about your boy, because they was boys, make no mistake, they was boys. Yes, talking shit about your boys can get you killed. That's why it died for me. And that's the reason why it stuck with me. And that's the reason why I celebrate them. Because for me, it was my youth. Anything that you bring from your youth into your adulthood is going to be strong. It's going to be a lot of passion with it. You can say what you want. You could be a grown-ass man at 4 years old still watch Scooby-Doo because that's your shit. You could be a grown man watching Tom and Jerry because that's your shit. You could be a grown man and watch Sanford and Son because that's your shit. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you bring from adulthood, the moment that you lose it, gets frozen in time. And that's where we are 16, 17, whatever it is years later. For me, I will always remember how I felt on the morning of March 9th, 1997, just like I did the afternoon of September 13th, 1996, just like I remember how I felt at the end of March in 1995 when we lost Eazy-E. Those are the three hip-hop, and Eazy, of course, didn't die from gun violence. He died from AIDS. And so that's how I feel. Those are hip hoppers. These people I came up with. And so when I lose them in those kinds of ways, it's frozen in time. I'm no longer the 40-year-old man. I'm that kid that remembers that feeling is so strong that I can't ever forget it. Mr. LP, take the final word. We're getting out of here on this break.
Let me offer a quick rebuttal. The same argument that you have, and I understand where you're coming from, but the same argument you have is the same argument people say about Southern culture. Not about slave, but it was about the way of life, the humbleness, and all these other different things. But then when the law came by to say free slaves or whatever, now I was frozen in time. You know, I was the Southern life and things like that. We could say the same thing about the drug dealer down the street that we knew. Yeah, he was bad and everything else, but everybody knew he was nice to the kids. But he still killed people. But now when I hear that he died, oh man, that brought me back to the day that he gave me the lollipop and gave me $5, but he still was murdering some people.
I think can I?
Sure.
To me, a big difference was that, or it still is that, it's entertainment. And I think a lot of the kids today don't have the guidance that they need outside of the music to help them to remember that it's just entertainment. A big difference, too, with the original hip-hop artists. I mean, you look at Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z has been smart. He is a phenomenal businessman. He has built this empire. He started with rap and hip-hop, but he had a bigger plan, and he's done more with his life. And I think that, you know, you can't just say, oh, well, he's a hip-hop artist and he's bad because he talks, you know, he degrades women and, you know, talks about selling drugs and things of that nature. That's true. That's real life for a lot of people. But the point is, one, is entertainment, and two, give kids something else to look forward to other than dying in the streets.
I've got a question for you, Marcus.
Sure.
Why is it that hip-hop died for you then between Biggie and Tupac and not Scott LaRock when the message was different?
I was 12 when Scott LaRock died.
Okay.
And it's literally that simple. I was
Okay.
12.
Yeah, it makes
He
a
died in
difference.
1986. And to be completely frank, Scott LaRock wasn't on my radar. He just wasn't, because in 1986, the way the media was, the way you obtained hip-hop in them days, it just wasn't the same like it was in 1996 and 1997 when we lost Biggie and Pac. And I was 12.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
12-year-old makes a difference.
I was 12, you know, and so, you know, I didn't know Scott. I wasn't into Criminal Minded and, you know, South Bronx and all that kind of stuff. When Boogie Down Productions got on my radar, it was with My Philosophy and I'm Still Number One, which was the album that came after Scott died. So that's the reason why. And Scott, in most, I would say probably in all hip hop circles, was the first member of the hip hop community to get murdered. I can't think of any single person that was prominent in hip hop. I'm sure there were people in hip hop that died, but as far as a prominent person, Scott was the first. 1996. He was, by all accounts, a great guy who was trying to defend D Nice, who went to say, yo, please don't beat up my friend D Nice. He's a nice guy, and he ended up getting shot by a sniper. That's how that went down. And so, you know, for me, it just wasn't really on my radar. And the last thing I'll say on the subject is hip hop died, and to kind of directly address your point, hip hop died for me is because it wasn't fun no more. For me, it wasn't fun no more. You know, when you listen to them rolling down the streets, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice, it was fun. It was inappropriate, but it was fun. You know what I mean? You know, you listen to After Police and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was fun. We live in Jersey City, New Jersey, and the East Coast, and you see these cats on the West Coast, you know, wilding out with the cops. It was like, we knew that shit was real, but it was like, it wasn't, for me, I mean, I'm speaking for me, it didn't affect me the way some things later on would. When I saw the Chronic and I saw them smoking, and I was in college, and I'm not going to sit here and front and act like, you know, I was, you know, one of those squares who wasn't doing those things. Of course I was doing those things in them days. I loved the culture. I loved what I saw. I emulated it. I wore Tim's. I wore an LA Kings hat, and I was from a kid from Jersey City. I ain't know shit about hockey, but I wore an LA Kings hat because Eazy-E did. You know what I mean? And I'm just being real. But when I saw Tupac talk the way he talked, and I saw him emulate the Panthers and Malcolm X, and all of those kinds of things. Like I completely blocked out Hit 'Em Up, and I completely blocked out that Tupac, and I saw the revolutionary Tupac. So that's the reason why I love this dude. And then when I saw that the jackass Tupac is who got him killed, it broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart. And I knew that him and Biggie was friends. I knew they was friends. And I saw interviews with him and Biggie. And I saw Biggie interviewed after Pac was died. I was like, yo, I know Tupac. That was my dude. I thought he was going to come back, and he got shot all the time. And next thing you know, he's gone. And I don't want that to be me, you know? And then he died. Biggie died. It affected me to the point where I was like, man, this shit ain't fun no more, yo. I don't want to be down with nothing that has nothing to do with this no more. Now, that's not to say that I didn't listen to hip hop, because I did. But for me to be a part of the culture and for me to internalize it the way I had to that point, for me to be turning on every single rapper and want to absorb it and be a part of me like I was prior to March 9th, 1997, it died for me that day. And I ain't been a part of it ever since. I'd rather listen to Frank Sinatra and Metallica.
I'll bring some country music.
I'd rather listen to Garth Brooks. And it's real talk. I know you and me battle on country, but seriously, I'd rather listen to anything else other than whatever. If it came out before March 9, 1997, that's my joint. Came out after that, you got to sell me. And you know how Steppin Marcus J. Couple of comments I want to get in from social media. My man said, he's saying that I'm explaining a whole lot. Joy is saying that Biggie was her favorite. Arthur Charisma,
hey,
the
girl.
dating pool diva. She's checking in with us right now. She says that Tupac was her boy. He was a self-proclaimed thug, but he was very deep individual, intellectual, who had a lot of positive things to say. He was an activist for poor project people. Will forever love him, respect him, and honor him. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We can agree to disagree on this one, Steven. I see you shaking your head, but I got to move on out this segment. Ain't no half step with Marcus J. Taking our first break of the night for Tony, Mr. LP, and SY, and you in social media. Stay with us. Be back in a few minutes.